Now we understand what is the stealing business. Why is he the Lord of all the stealers? He is stealing something that doesn't belong to him. He is taking something that doesn't belong to him. What is it that doesn't belong to him? What is present within us that is as ego, desire, anger, greed, attachment, arrogance, jealousy, mine. All these are the vices. He steals those away from us because they don't belong to him. But he takes away those things. And when he takes away those things, in the place of ego, forbearance will come. In the place of desire, contentment will come. In the place of anger, humility will come. In the place of greed, forgiveness will come. Attachment, acceptance will give. Arrogance, sharing will come. Jealousy, caring will come. Mind will turn into self-esteem. This is the essence of that third Anuvaka. Who doesn't want to chant Rudram? Raise your hand. If you have not already learned Rudram, who doesn't want to learn Rudram and practice Rudram in their lives? Brothers and sisters, this is the reason why Bhagavan Sri Satya Sai Baba insisted on everyone to chant the Rudram, because at one point or the other, even if not this lifetime, next lifetime you will connect to all these things and get transformed. Rudram transforms the individual. It's the power of transformation, and that power of transformation is to become the perfect instrument of the Lord, to love all and to serve all, not for your own self-satisfaction. So that when he takes away everything is called Hari. When he fills with all these things is called Hara. Hari Hara. What's the difference? Now you are all tuned. What's the difference? You are all instantly connected. Hari is I, Hara is A. Hari means I, the ego. Hara means the Atma, all pervading. But the job description is the same. Swami said Gopal Pashupati. What's the difference here? Same job description. No difference. Difference is created in the mind. So that is the Anuvakam, third until number 8, Ruk. That is what we are seeing here. Sahamana Yanimyadhina Apyadhininam Pataye Namaha Kakubhaya Nishangine Stenanam Pataye Namaha. And the last one, Ushni Shine Girichara Yakulunchanam Pataye Namaha. As we look at these things, and you can study all these things, Iho, Ahankara, all these things I already summarized. And there is a link to the YouTube video also, if you want to listen more. Explanation of more. So, as we recognize various personalities in the world, such as high and low, good and bad, virtuous and debased, in all these judgments and perceptions, we get sunk in the waves of samsara, the world. How do we not get sunk into all of this stuff? By having those qualities of forbearance, contentment, humility, forgiveness, acceptance, sharing, caring, and self-esteem. The one who takes away what does not belong to him is a thief. In that context, Lord is the supreme stealer, for he takes away from us what do not belong to him. Clear? Yes, still? Blissed out? Totally blissed out? Okay, stay awake now. Okay. So, the next level is now becoming awareness of our own inner tendencies and our potential as it relates to Ishumadbhyo, Dhanva Vibhyaschavo Nama, Asine Bhyashaya, those things we are chanting from Srukavibhyo jigaghasabhyo mushnatam pataye namaha. Dacoits, we already went through that. So, then the topic turns into perfection of our inner capabilities. What is the code word for issue? Issue means what? Thought. Issue also means arrow. Ishuvabhyo dhanva vibhyaschavo. Now you see, brothers, this is very beautiful. As you become aware of your thought and the being mindful of the thought, then you get engaged in the mind with the thought. The mind launches into action, thought into action, towards a goal and a target with that action. That is what those 3.2.1, actually from the 9th all the way to the end of this Anuvakam we're talking about. What this is, the power of mind as it relates to concentration, contemplation and awareness. What is the power of the mind that is given to us is what is being described here. And that power of the mind becomes omniscience. Omniscience means all-knowing. Understand the words? We have to understand the words first. Omniscience means all-knowing. What is it that is all-knowing? What is the capacity of the mind? It's incredible. The capacity of the mind is 150 bits per second. That's the concentration power of the mind. If you have that concentration power of the mind, you will be like a Swami Vivekananda, who by just turning the pages would memorize the content of entire Encyclopedia Britannica. Entire Encyclopedia Britannica was Swami Vivekananda's head. If you asked him a word, he will tell page number so and so, line number so and so, and he will give the meaning of it from Encyclopedia Britannica. He's not an ordinary mind. How he trained that mind? First stopped unnecessary thinking. Then the mind gets focused so much. Ishumadbhyo dhanva vibhyaschavo namo nama atanvanebhyah pratidadaanebhyaschavo namo nama ayachadbhyo visrujadbhyaschavo namo namosyabhyo vidyadbhyaschavo namo nama asinebhyashayanebhyaschavo namo namasvapadbhyo jagradbhyaschavo namo namastishtabhyo Vabhyascavo namo namah sabhabhya sabhapatibhyascavo namo namo ashvebhyo shvapatibhyascavo namaha. So that's giving the power of the concentration of the mind when it is not distracted by the 8 vices, and the 8 vices are stolen by God as Chitta Chora. Then what remains is your fullness of the mind. That's what's called mindfulness. And in that mindfulness, you are able to absorb, attract, you can sing, you can dance, you can compose, you can read, you can write, you can do everything and anything under the sun. That is how Swami trains the minds of his students. You will see them doing sports, you will see them singing, everything that you can imagine. How are they able to do it? They also have the same bodies and minds like us, because they are not distracted by the worldly stuff, at least when they are in Prashanti. Afterwards, the single pointed focus becomes him. There is no other distraction. Therefore, the full potency of the mind is expressed. And that full potency of the mind is expressed asinebhya, shayanebhya, pratidadhanebhya, when they are lying down, when they are sitting, when they are sleeping, when they are awake. In all states of consciousness, that full mind is expressed, and that is the omniscient mind with the power of concentration and contemplation and meditation. That is the third Anuvakam. And we'll complete the fourth Anuvakam and come back, finish the rest of the Anuvaka tomorrow. If you are still spiritually inclined. So that is omniscience. Then the next one is called omnipotence. Omnipotence means the skill associated with us. Skills given to us. Life forces, we already talked about the 8 life forces, right? And then we talked about the fact, the ones that are distracting us from awareness and he's stealing them, allowing him to steal. And once he steals those, what remains is this powerful mind that is omniscient. And that omniscient mind becomes omnipotent. Omnipotence means ability to do lot of things. Omniscience, we're done. See, omniscience. Oh, these are some of the beautiful pictures. There is a devotee by name Margaret Sersoli from Australia. She attended the entire 50 plus weeks of Rudra Jnana Yajna that we conducted in 2020. We conducted a yajna called Jnana Yajna. These slides were made during that time, during the COVID time. For 52 weeks, every week, both Sunday and Monday, 1 hour each on Zoom classes, we used to contemplate and study these mantras. There were 200 people used to join from all over the world. And one devotee by name Margaret Sersoli, after she finishes the class, would create these pictures so that people can connect to the mantra. That is real study, dedication. And I am very thankful to her for that. Omniscience, engage the mind using the power of choice that has unselfish intention, hold the thought through concentration and focus so that the execution of that thought hits its target. That is the meaning of this mantras. As you do that, the mind, the power of thought now is arrow, pulling the string to aim, releasing the thought and hitting the target. That is what is called Vajra Sankalpa, or total mindfulness. Mindfulness does not mean sitting somewhere closing eyes. That's not mindfulness. In action there is mindfulness. When you sing a bhajan, are you mindful? When you chant, are you mindful? When you walk, when you talk, when you are interacting with other people, are you completely aware? Are you completely mindful? That is what is the power of omniscience. Then what happens? You can actually see how it manifests. Now this fourth Anuvaka talks about, there are 17 edges in this Anuvaka. Let's chant this Anuvaka and then we'll explain the meaning of it. Nama Avyadhinebhyo Viridhyantebhyascha Bo Namo Namah Uganabhyasthagambhatebhyascha Bo Namo Namo Vritsebhyo Vritsapatebhyascha Bo Namo Namo Vratebhyo Vratapatebhyascha Bo Namo Namo Pranebhyo Pranapatebhyascha Bo Namo Namo Virupebhyo Vishwarupebhyascha Bo Namo Namo Mahatyah Shullakebhyascha Bo Namo Namo Ratebhyo Ratebhyascha Bo Namo Namo Ratebhyo Ratapatebhyascha Bo Namo Namah Senabhyassenadebhyascha Bo Namo Namah Kshatrabhyas Sangrahitrebhyascha Bo Namo Namah Takshabhyo Ratakarebhyascha Bo Namo Namah Kulalebhyah Dharmarebhyascha Bo Namo Namah Punjishtebhyo Nishadebhyascha Bo Namo Namah Ishukrebhyo Dhanvakrebhyascha Bo Namo Namo Mrugayubhyashvanebhyascha Bo Namo Namah Shvabhyashvapatebhyascha Bo Namaha. This Anuvaka is talking about all different professions that you can imagine. And here again, when you look at the words, they are confusing because they talk about hunters, they talk about charioteers, they talk about people that are catching fish. All the different types of professions are mentioned here. And what we will do is, for today, I'll just give you the literal meaning of it. Tomorrow when we come back, let's now start with this Anvaka, and we'll lead it to the next, completing the Namakam and the essence of the Chamakam. So, here we talk about Avyadhinibhyaha Vividhyantibhyaha. Those that fight against adversities and challenges, and those that are competent to strike all around in various ways, and those that are leading higher forces of battalions and forces, those that are responsible for running after sensual pleasures and their leaders, those that are groups or communities that disobey rules and regulations and their chiefs, Vratebhyaha, Vratapadibhyaha, then those that follow the rules and regulations and that are attended by their chiefs, those that are various forms and the universal formless, those that are in the great Mahatbhyaha, Kshulakebhyaha means those that are insignificant, those that are riding chariots and those that do not ride the chariots, those that have chariots and their components and own these chariots, those that are armies and army chiefs, those that teacher of the charioteers and gatherer of rains, those that are carpenters and chariot makers, those that are potters and blacksmiths, those that are fowlers and fishermen and hunters, those that are artisans who make arrows and bows, those that are hunters and huntsmen, those that are hounds and keepers of the hounds, salutations to all of them and their chiefs. Wow. Huh? How many different types of professions? Some of them you can't even understand what that means in today's context. Carpenters, chariot makers, chief of charioteers, potters, hunters, blacksmiths, who are artisans. How are all these professions related to? And the God who is expressed as omnipotence in the skills of all these workers. That is the essence of this Anvakam. So we covered the purity, the clarity, the stillness with first Anvakam, the expression of omnipresence in the second Anvakam, omniscience in the third Anvakam, omnipotence in the fourth Anvakam. How we are recognizing? The first Anvakam gives purity. And the purity makes your heart reflect the source. And when that source is reflecting in your heart, whatever are the properties of the source, omniscience, omnipresence, omnipotence, is also now reflecting in the reflection, in perfection. And then what happens? Stay tuned, we'll break back. Okay, let's close with the peace prayer today. And then Yadaksharapad Bhrishtam. And then we'll close the session for today. Unless there are any burning questions related to what we studied in the afternoon, we covered in the morning. Any big questions? Anybody has any questions? No questions. You are not thinking, no? So therefore, no questions. Yes? Oh, brother, to all the people registered, please send this PDF, the link to the PDF, so that they can also have access to that. Yes. Okay. Any questions, man? No. Don't ask the person next to you. Ask me. Okay. No questions. Okay, Sai Ram.